Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Tonight we will be doing a cook with me. On the menu is barbecue meatballs, jasmine rice, asparagus, and candied yams. So if you're interested in how I prepare this quick 35-minute meal, stay tuned. So while we're heating the oven to 350, you want to go ahead and dice your onions up, preferably in smaller pieces so that you're not biting into big chunks. Once you have all of your onions diced up, you add however many meatballs you would like to your dish. These meatballs came already pre-packaged, so they are Italian sausage meatballs, and I'm going to add seasoning later on as we go. The first seasoning I'm going to add is this burger seasoning. It's kind of like seasoning salt, but it has a couple of added flavors to it. But you add whatever seasonings you prefer. For me, I use my burger seasoning. I'll come in with some salt and maybe some pepper. Once everything is seasoned, add your onions and your barbecue sauce that you prefer. I like the sweet honey flavored barbecue sauce, so that's what I'll be using in tonight's meal. Once everything is in your pot, throw the lid on and add it in the oven for about 45 minutes. Right here I'm just showing you that I'm going to be using asparagus. I take probably about half the bag out because, as you know, you chop off almost half of the bottom of the asparagus, so you can run through about half a bag to a bag depending on how many servings. Tonight's meal we probably used a quarter of the bag because it was just serving 2 people. So once you chop off the bottom portion of the asparagus, you want to bring it to the sink and rinse really well. Right here I'm showing you that you only need to cut off about a tablespoon of butter to add to your pan. This is what we're going to use to coat the bottom of the pan to cook our asparagus. So once this simmers down a little bit and the pan is nice and hot, you come back in with a little bit of lemon juice. I'm just adding my seasoning, so I'll be using red pepper, steakhouse seasoning, and a little bit of sea salt. You don't need too much because your steakhouse seasoning has a little bit of salt. Right here I'm adding 5 tablespoons of butter to a separate pan. This is going to be our pan that we're making the mixture for the candied yams. So that was 5 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. You can add more or less to your liking. After about 15 minutes of sauteing, our asparagus is ready to come out and be plated. At this time, I'm letting the sugar on the stove and the butter melt down, and I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of white sugar to our sweet potatoes. And I'll probably come back in and add a little bit more cinnamon just to sprinkle over the top. Once you do that, you want to mix well and then pour your mixture from the stove over the top. It should come to the consistency of about a glaze, a thick glaze, almost as if you were making glaze for a ham. You just want to pop your lid on and bake for about 35 to 40 minutes. After 20 minutes of cooking, take your meatballs out to stir them around and check on them. You can then pop them back in the oven and let them finish cooking for the last 20 minutes. Right here I'm just showing you that I'm using 1 cup of beef broth and 1 cup of water. This is my pot for the rice. After about 5 minutes, the water should be boiling and you can add your rice, put the top on, and just let it simmer. The rice should be done after 15 minutes. Okay guys, so it is 40 minutes later. You can take your meatballs out. They should be nice and tender. As far as your candy yams, you're going to take those out and add as many marshmallows as you like. Pop your lid back on and bake for another 10 minutes. This is the end of tonight's Cook With Me. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you decide to try this recipe. Don't forget to subscribe. We love to have you. Bye.
Meatballs.